greatest quarterback ever. I feel like we did every team's worst quarterback. Let's do it.
Every team has had that one quarterback, the champion.
Brady has his fifth. What a comeback.
The Hall of Famer.
Throwing in the end zone.
Or just the guy who put up video game-like numbers. With many teams, the choice is obvious. But for some teams, you could make a strong case for a few players. So, with that, here's our totally unscientific...
You like that? You like that?
But totally correct list of every NFL team's greatest quarterback ever.
Y'all think that's a good blitz?
And what better place to start than America's team? There are several great quarterbacks in play here, but
the Cowboys' greatest quarterback of all time. I see Staubach right here, I believe. He's Staubach or Elway.
The correct answer is Roger Staubach. He's a huge reason why the Cowboys became the most popular team in the NFL. He was the real-life version of Captain America, a clean-cut Navy vet who consistently found ways to win.
Imagine what he would have done if he hadn't have done the Navy.
In an 8-season span, he led the boys to 4 Super Bowl appearances. They went 2-2 in the big game, but their losses were epic battles against the Steel Curtain Steelers. Staubach could beat teams from within the pocket, but he was also such a good scrambler, he was named Roger the Dodger.
He was incredibly athletic, Roger the Dodger, able to escape pressure.
Got away from one, got away twice.
Athletic, Roger the Dodger, able to escape pressure.
I thought this was, what's that do to Mark Drives?
Sure.
Got away from one, got away twice.
And he was clutch.
When you've got a leader that wants to win that badly, it rubs off on everybody.
Also named Captain Comeback, he willed the Cowboys to victory time and time again.
Roger Staubach, obviously before my time. I ain't got much to say about that.
Staubach retired as the Cowboys' leading passer with 22,700 yards and 153 TDs.
Brought out the hero in all of us.
Got more out of the players he was playing.
Hey, King, thank you for the sub. Oh, got
That's
plenty of
another
alerts.
leadership quality.
Those numbers were later eclipsed, but Staubach is still King of the Hill in Dallas.
Yo, Brahman, thank you for the sub, King.
Dallas Cowboys.
Hardy's free wifey cheered
from Captain Comeback
X100.
to
I
the
know it
Comeback
hurts.
Kid, we have the greatest 49ers signal caller ever, Joe Montana.
Yeah, Joe Montana, the easy answer for the 49ers. We know these.
King Meigs TV just resubscribed for 7 months.
Montana.
7 months
Montana
with
had
the drive
ice in
and
his
Mr.
veins
One
when the
Nighter.
game was on
What's
the
good
line, especially
What's
in the
the word, Gabe?
postseason.
Joe Montana was at his best.
Big money
when you
underscore
needed him the most.
119
And Super
cheered
Bowls are where Montana
X100.
truly
Yay,
built
Trey,
his
if you
legacy,
beat him, I will
because
allow
no
refried
one was
bins
more flawless.
420 to
A
gift you
clean
5
4-0
subs. Trey,
and
so
a
dying. You
127
got
point-
this, bruh.
How you gonna allow somebody to get me some?
Nate passer rating.
There was nothing
Trey
too
really
big
a
for
Dallas
His
fan.
drive to win
Absolutely
Super Bowl
not.
23 was one of the greatest ever.
I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever, in no point in time in my life, watched the NFL game and was rooting for the Cowboys to win. You know, sometimes maybe you might hate a team, but like the team that you hate is playing a team you hate even more. So you be like, man, it, I root for y'all. I don't know if y'all be like that. I'd be like that. I've never done that for the Cowboys ever. Oh, thank y'all for the 3,000 subs as well, man. Thank y'all, boys, man. No cap, bro. Thank y'all. Real man.
But let's not forget how good he was in the regular season.
Montana to throw.
You be hitting the D-Town boogie, don't lie. Count.
Touchdown 49ers.
When he left the Niners in
Y'all finish
1993,
I'm on the
he was
last
a
boss.
2-time MVP and the franchise leader in passing yards and TDs. His place in the Hall of Fame was on lock, and
I
his spot
sold
among
that
the
one, the
all-time
other
greats was secure too.
He is number one. There is no question Joe Montana is number one.
But Montana wasn't the first QB to go 4-0 in Super Bowls, because a few years earlier, Terry Bradshaw did it for the Steelers. From
get Terry out of here.
1974 to 1979, he won 4 titles and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. When Pittsburgh drafted Bradshaw first overall in
I already did a
1970,
Seafood walk
the
on
team
stream.
was
We did it
terrible,
like when the
and
game first came out.
franchise
That game
was irrelevant.
amazing.
Nothing greater happened to Terry Bradshaw than to go up to Pittsburgh and make Pittsburgh a winner.
And in the first few years of his career, Terry was pretty bad too.
He had all the problems that all rookies have, except he was under a gigantic microscope.
But once he figured it out, the Steelers built a dynasty around him.
We needed Terry at that time, and he stepped up. And
Terry over Big Ben?
Eventually, Ben Roethlisberger replaced Bradshaw atop Pittsburgh's passing leaderboard.
Fuck out of here. I'm going Big Ben over Terry. I'm sorry, bro. Hey, Ghost! Ghost!
Pulls up three-pointer.
Ghost, thank you so much for the
Bang! It's good. Win game at the buzzer.
Please. Sam Brothers in the chat. Ghost, you already know I appreciate you, but I'm going to tell you again. Thank you, gang.
But it was the OG TB12 who helped turn the Steelers into one of the premier franchises in the league.
The guy's got more rings than a married pimp. And you know something? That's what matters at the end of the day.
And speaking of premier franchises, the Green Bay Packers seem to always have a great passer under center. And both Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre have a great case.
It's Rodgers, bro.
Wish, great players would just retire and stay retired.
But Rodgers matched Favre with a Super Bowl ring in Green Bay and also earned 4 MVP awards to Favre's 3.
I feel like when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, he can make any throw on the field.
Rodgers' passing numbers were off the charts.
He's a creep.
59,000.
Listen, man, I know Big Ben a creep, man. I was just talking about the football player, man, on the field. Like, watching the football video. And with that, I got him over here.
679 yards, 480 touchdowns, and a ridiculously good 1.4 interception rate, which is the NFL.
This is too elite to only have 1 Super Bowl. I know that sounds crazy because there's elite quarterbacks with none. But this motherfucker is so good. How do you only have 1?
NFL record.
The teams you had were so good.
When you see him throw the ball, it's effortless.
On the other hand, Favre did set the NFL record for interceptions in a career. Overall, Rodgers was just the better player and is the GOAT of the green and gold. And while Rodgers was always compared to Favre, Giants legend Eli Manning was always compared to his brother Peyton. Eli may have fallen short of his brother in most stat categories, but he matched him in the most important one, Super Bowl rings. And Eli's rings came against Tom Brady's Patriots, one being their 18-0 017. While other people often thought Eli was clueless.
Seeing him, you would never think.
Man, thank you, Eli, bro, because if they went 19-0, I would have never heard nothing about Tom Brady. I would have never been able to go anywhere in no conversation without him being brought up. That would have been ridiculous. Eli, send me your information. Coffee on me for a year. Donuts, you want donuts? On me for a year, man. You saved my life, man.
Threw for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns because he always had the same facial expressions.
He led the Giants offense for 16 years and won a lot of games. And he was an Iron Man. He put together a streak of 210 consecutive starts, which was one of the longest runs in NFL history.
I remember that. They snapped his streak on some bullshit.
Throws from the left hash, right hash, down the field.
With that kind of durability, it's no wonder he left Big Blue as the franchise's passing leader, with 57,023 yards and 366 touchdowns.
Stats don't lie.
And Eli may have beat Tom Brady in the big game, but it's likely no QB will ever match Brady's career with the New England Patriots.
I don't think no one would ever overtake Tom Brady as the GOAT in New England.
Even with those 2 L's to the Giants, he collected 6 rings and 4 Super Bowl MVPs in 9 trips to the Super Bowl as a Patriot.
He's the greatest quarterback ever to live on this earth.
And then you have to mention the 3 regular season MVPs and 14 Pro Bowls.
Those are the things that you can't measure statistically. Bro. That really set him apart from
I hated this, bro. So many times, bro, this motherfucker wouldn't just go away.
The rest.
Plus the countless fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. Teams always left Brady too much time. And so it's no surprise he finished his time in New England with these absurd numbers: 74,571 yards and 541 TDs. And that's why he's the GOAT.
He's the best football player to ever play football.
But if there's anyone who could challenge him for his title, it's the guy currently playing in Kansas City. That would, of course.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Mahomes ever going to win one again. But what I'll tell you is he has a real chance. I mean, he got a real chance. Like, you got to think, bro, this is playing like this year, dude. And these are however and 1 in December. Their record is ridiculous. And you know in the playoffs, when they start, then he gonna play better.
Of course.
He cost me some get the subs though. I bet that he's gonna be in the MVP conversation. He is not in there.
Patrick Mahomes. From 2019 through 2023, he went to the Super Bowl 4 times, won 3 of them, and was named the game's MVP 3 times. And before Mahomes, the Chiefs had just 1 Super Bowl win. But in each of his first 6 seasons as the team starter, KC has made the AFC Championship game. In 2024, he already became the franchise's leader in passing yards at age 29. And his play style has completely revolutionized the quarterback position. Mahomes has put together an amazing run, and there's no sign of it ending. No one thought anyone would ever challenge Brady's records like Mahomes. But for Kurt Warner, no one ever thought he would even make it to the NFL. But he went from undrafted to running the greatest show on turf.
I waited a long time for this, and I'm just happy to finally get my chance.
With Warner throwing lasers to Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and Marshall Faulk, the St. Louis Rams led the league in points in 1999, 2000, and 2001. Warner took home 2 MVP awards in that stretch. And thanks to all that firepower, the Rams made it to a pair of Super Bowls. In Super Bowl 34, Warner's bomb to Bruce in the fourth quarter gave the franchise its first title.
Kurt looked at Isaac. I basically told him, I'm coming to you.
Then, in Super Bowl 36, the Rams were a minute away from a second Lombardi trophy, only to have Tom Brady lead a game-winning drive to set in motion the Pats dynasty.
The one game in my career that I've thought about more than any others was losing that Super Bowl.
But at least Warner won a ring, because Dolphins all-time great Dan Marino never did. Marino went to just 1 Super Bowl in 1985 and lost to Joe Montana and the 49ers.
If there's anyone that ever deserved the Super Bowl win, it was him. He'll go down as one of the greatest of all time.
But don't judge him on that, because he's easily the greatest QB never to win a title. At the time of his retirement, he held the NFL record for touchdown passes, passing yards, completions, touchdown passes in a season, and passing yards in a season.
Like, Dan Marino is one of the best examples of why niggas need to stop giving quarterbacks credit for wins and losses. Because if you retire and be the leader in all of these categories, goddamn, what the fuck you want me to do? Tackle somebody, bitch? Fuck.
Season. He also led 33 fourth-quarter comebacks,
Come on,
second only to Johnny Unitas's 34. Marino was the greatest passer the NFL had ever seen at the time, and he paved the way for so many gunslingers that came after him.
They say different, they're lying.
Like Matt Ryan,
thank you for the big
Matty Ice,
fuck it,
the guy who
gang,
set
man. Thank
every
you so
major
much.
passing record in Falcons history. For 14 seasons, he operated Atlanta's high-flying offense.
Man, Matt Ryan, bro. He's starting to be underrated, man. He's starting to be forgotten, in my opinion. Matt Ryan was cooking.
In 2016, he hit his peak. He was voted NFL MVP and reached the Super Bowl against the Patriots. And yes, that was the 28-3 game. But you can't blame Ryan for that. If Kyle Shanahan calls a few running plays in the fourth quarter, Ryan gets a ring, Tom Brady...
Yo, no, why the fuck did they change the way they was playing? Man, bro, football is a frustrating ass sport, bro. You be having niggas doing something so good in the first half and then just stop. Like...
Brady takes an L, and the Falcons don't get clowned for completing the biggest choke job in Super Bowl history. Matt Ryan was one of the game's elite pocket passers for many years, but the greatest dual-threat QB we've ever seen.
I'm so glad niggas starting to call Lamar what he is. Yo, there's never been a better dual-threat quarterback to play the game. Lamar is the greatest black quarterback to play the game. I'm just be honest with you, bro. I'm just tell you right now. But I get there's been people that won rings. You got Williams that won with the Skins. You got I'm sorry. No, he's not. Mahomes, I'm sorry. Back that up. Mahomes. I forgot. Forgive me. But niggas say Andrew Luck. All right, relax. But he's the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time, bro. I know niggas love Mike Vick. I get it. I know niggas love Cam Newton. Cam Newton's my favorite quarterback of all time. Them niggas ain't Lamar, bro.
Been watching the YouTube channels over the last 3 years while I've been overseas. You and chat keep shit entertaining. Happy holiday. Real driver.
No cap. That's a fucking W dono, man.
We're seeing.
No, that's a $20 dono too, man. Damn, Chamberlain. Appreciate you for the sub, gang. I appreciate you. Trey, you bugging. Who you got over? What dual threat quarterback you got over Lamar? Say Mike Vick. Come on, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Come on, man. Mike Vick. Come on, you know.
Well, that goes to Lamar Jackson of the
Elway.
The Baltimore Ravens. In 2018, the Ravens defied everyone when they took
Yo, Chamberlain, God damn! Chamberlain, think about a big 20 gifted subs as well as the $20, bro. Chamberlain, man, you already know I appreciate the shit out you, man. Thank you, gang.
Took him with the last pick in the first round.
We're the 32nd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft.
He's on some goddamn John Elway, man. John Elway ain't no damn dual threat quarterback like Lamar was, like Lamar is, man. Now, John Elway a hell of a passer, but come on, man. Y'all grasping for straws, bro. Hey, Fresh, what the fuck going on, man? Hey, I've been meaning to reply to your text too, my boy. My bad, gang.
Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Lamar Jackson.
Then, in 2019, he set the league on fire. Jackson led the NFL with 36 touchdown passes, and he also set the record for quarterbacks with 1,206 rushing yards.
I respect
that
Steve,
performance
bro.
earned him the MVP award.
Yo,
one of the two that he's won in his first 6 seasons. And with 8 seasons behind center, Baltimore made the playoffs 5 times in those 6.
John Elway is a Super Bowl winner. Lamar isn't. I mean, you are right about that. I never said that isn't true. I just feel like you just moved the goalposts a little bit, but all right.
Years. Not bad for a running back. Unfortunately for the Ravens, Jackson hasn't turned those playoff runs into a Super Bowl trip yet, which is something Jim Kelly of the Buffalo Bills was an expert at. He just couldn't win the big game.
I feel so bad for Jim Kelly, even though I wasn't around to watch this. How do you go to 4 and lose? And then 2 of them was missed field goals, bro. Like, what the fuck?
For 4 seasons in a row, 1990 through 1993, Kelly and the Bills played in the Super Bowl. They went 0-4, and the last 3 were all blowouts.
Coming up short
Try to reply to my text over and under. Bro, I'm going to reply to it, but I got you, gang.
3 decades later, Buffalo is still trying to get back there. And Kelly became the franchise's career leader in passing touchdowns and yards.
That's nuts,
he did
bro.
it in just 11 seasons. The same number of seasons Donovan
Big
McNabb played for the Eagles. You know, at first, he didn't have it easy in Philly, but really, who does? On the night of the 1999 NFL
Draft, John Elway looked like Febril Daddy.
Who? It looked like who? Febril Daddy. Febril Daddy. Oh, nigga, ASAP Ferb. Get the hell out of here, nigga. Get the fuck.
Birds fans booed because the Eagles chose him over Ricky Williams with the 2nd pick.
The fans are irate over the fact that they didn't take Ricky Williams, but I hope the fans don't take it out on Donovan McNabb.
And then McNabb struggled as a rookie, but in 2000, everything changed. Over the next decade, 5 led the Eagles to 8 playoff berths and 1 memorable Super Bowl. The Eagles lost a heartbreaker to the Patriots, and the game became McNabb's version of the Michael Jordan flu game. And eventually, he became the franchise leader in passing yards and TDs. That was enough for him to be immortalized in Philly.
Rip McNabb, nigga. McNabb is not dead.
Birds retired.
Stop killing niggas.
Heard his number.
Number 5 will always love you.
Not bad for a kid from Chicago. And then, when he was growing up there, McNabb might have heard some stories about the greatest.
I want you to notice something about what's going on right here, y'all. Did y'all notice anything? The fucking footage is in black and white. The first team where the footage is in black and white. And don't y'all know this is one of the original NFL teams, if I'm not mistaken. So, with you being one of the original NFL teams, how the fuck were you like unable to have a long line of great quarterbacks? That's fucking nuts.
Quarterback in Bears history. Sid Luckman is still talked about with respect in the Windy City. He's right there with Red Grange and Bronco Nagurski among the franchise's early legends.
The motherfucker name is Bronco Nagurski. Thanks a lot, nigga. My new character last name is Nagurski.
Did it all for the Monsters of the Midway. As a quarterback, he led Chicago to 4 NFL championships in the 1940s. That includes the Bears' 73-0 destruction of Washington in the 1940 title game. And he was a two-way star when starters had to play both on offense and defense.
Them motherfuckers lost to the original Travis Hunter.
He snagged 17 interceptions in his career.
Damn.
Plus, he was also the Bears' punter. And the most amazing thing about Luckman is that he held the franchise's passing touchdown record for 72 years until
trash. They go y'all greatest of all time. It's Jay, nigga.
Jay Cutler finally broke it in 2015. In short, he was the Chi-Town version of Superman. Not to be confused with the Superman of the 21st century, Cam Newton. When he hit the field for the first time in 2011, he made Panthers fans...
Man, it's going to be a long time before we see another Cam Newton, bro. I don't want to say never because history do repeat itself, but it's going to be a long time before we see another motherfucking Cam Newton, man, dog. Motherfucker was cold, man.
Completely forget.
And when he went to the Super Bowl, I thought my nigga was going to get one, bro. Like, he just ran into one of the greatest defenses of all time. That Broncos defense was disgusting. Defense was so good, it carried a noodle arm, Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl. Josh Allen, absolutely not. But fuck you, Trey, what? Peyton Manning better could throw. He had 52 touchdowns that season. Am I getting misconfused? I probably am, dude. I probably am. I bet about that. I know at one point in time, Peyton Manning on the Broncos couldn't fucking throw the ball for real. I mean, the damn spirals was like looser than the motherfucker. Let me see this shit. I feel like even in that Super Bowl, he couldn't even throw the ball for real. Broncos Super. Respect my quarterback. Peyton Manning is one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I rooted for that nigga. But we gotta be 100, man. That was the year 2015. They won in the 16, but 2015 Peyton Manning stats. Peyton Manning passer rating. Nigga, you are smoking crack. Now, I don't know if this is real, but Google tell me Peyton Manning had a passer rating of a 67.9 with 2,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions in 10 games in 2015. He won his second Super Bowl. I know I wasn't fucking tripping, bro. I know I wasn't fucking tripping. Let's pull it up, though. Gangster. I don't just make shit up, man. This nigga was fucking grade A ass. This nigga was grade A ass. Holy shit, nigga. Holy shit. Flash, where you at, bro? Where you at, bro? He missed half the season, but the half that he played, dog, he threw 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, man. Like, it was ass. But that Broncos defense was that fucking good, man. And on top of that, Cam Newton performance in the Super Bowl was not that great at all. Let's look it up. Cam Newton Bowl stats. Cam Newton in the Super Bowl, a passer rating of 55. He had 265 yards, sorry about that. 1 interception, no touchdown passes. I don't know what he did on the ground rushing. Threw the ball 41 times, completed 18. Where that nigga Flash at, bro? Flash, where you at, man? As soon as that nigga Flash prove around, that nigga ain't typing.
The Black Son of Zancho cheered X100. WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp Trey. Don't know how long we're locked in, but can we study the fall off of one of my favorite saints? Thanks for everything y'all do. Also, hold on real quick.
Nigga, I'm in the game. Got my dick in your mouth. I heard you. Hey, nigga. First of all, watch your motherfucking mouth. Second of all, nigga, you was wrong then a bitch. You was in the game when I said that nigga had a fucking noodle on. You was in the game then, but you thought she was right. Fuck out of here, nigga. The round ended. Fuck out of here, nigga. Now, anyways, let's see this. Boom. Study one of your Saints. What is this?
Good receiver.
Okay. Maybe. I watched before I end.
Forget about the days of Jake Delhomme and Kerry Collins putting together one of the greatest rookie seasons.
Man, I just wish that, like, after Steve Smith left, I wish Carolina would have gave Cam another legit #1 receiver. Him and Steve Smith was amazing to watch. Steve was at the tail end of his career. I really wish they would have gave him another legitimate #1 receiver. That motherfucker was such a good quarterback. He has niggas fooled into thinking that Kelvin Benjamin was a good receiver. That nigga fucking sucks. I knew someone was gonna bring him up. I don't know why niggas bring him up. That nigga dead ass fucking sucks, y'all. Okay? I watched the Panthers. I'm not lying and said I looked at stats. This motherfucker made easy passes look incredibly hard, and hard passes at times look easy. He would catch a insane pass, but drop wide open fucking touchdowns. Wide open fucking third down conversions. Like, fucking ass. And I'm not lying. Now, he had over 1,000 yards. He had ability, but he fucking sucked. Guess what? Ted Ginn was not a good NFL receiver, y'all. Like, I don't even think that's debatable. He was drafted by the Dolphins. He was known as a bust. Great return man. Great return man. All right? Great return man. Cam Newton made this motherfucker look like a solid receiver. That just shows how good of a quarterback Cam Newton was, man. I wish that they would have gave him a legitimate #1 receiver. Let's keep it going, though.
We've ever seen. Newton was an absolute beast. He was as big as a tight end and had a rocket for an arm. But on top of that, he was a great runner who loved running people over. And
appreciate you for the God damn Big Five getting the subs, man. You already know I appreciate you, my motherfucking dog, man. Appreciate you, gang.
His QB sneak on the goal line was just unstoppable. In fact, he ended his Panthers career as the franchise's all-time leader in rushing touchdowns, scoring almost twice as many TDs on the ground as Christian McCaffrey. Cam gave the Panthers their best years in franchise history, culminating in a 15-1 season in 2015, where he won MVP.
Look at Funch's stats. I fuck with Funch's, man. Yo, I'm being honest. I feel like Devin Funch's low-key was a tight end that they had playing receiver. How tall was Devin Funchess? He was 6'4". I didn't feel like that nigga was a tight end playing receiver, man. Okay. Tebow, you smoking crack. Devin Funchess, that news. All right, it says he played 5 seasons with the Panthers and the Colts. He had 164 catches for 2,265 yards and 21 touchdowns. Let's pull these bad boys up. Devin Funchess, all right? Oh, come on, man. What are we doing? Hey.
MVP and led.
Hello? The fuck? All right, can we get a year breakdown, please? Stats. Devin Funchess, he's never been a 1,000-yard receiver at any point, but in 2017 with the Panthers, this was the couple years after the Super Bowl, he had over 100 receptions. What's good, gang?
Terminator Will 440 cheered Dex 100. Trey, what position you play in football? No cap, you look like a good defensive tackle.
I was not a defensive tackle, bro. When I played football, I was not as big as I am now. I play receiver, bro. Now, Devin Funchess, 8 touchdowns. I mean, he was a cool receiver. I did feel like he was a tight end. Lying, a center. Waterboy, cap. All right.
Led Carolina to the Super Bowl. Despite the heartbreaking loss, Newton turned the Panthers into a consistent contender and set the franchise records for passing TDs and yards in the process. Moving from one legendary dual threat to another, Broncos great John Elway was.
Chet, listen, I don't have time to talk about who I was and what I did, man, because y'all niggas don't even believe me when I tell y'all I used to have speed or I used to be able to fucking dunk a basketball. Like, niggas, you'd be like, oh, that's lies. It's cap. It's cap. According to you niggas, I was always slow as fuck, and I was never able to jump. Look at Flash. He's fake laughing. Because I know Flash ain't athletic. I know that nigga ain't athletic.
Really ahead of his time. He was fast enough to outrun defenders.
You're not athletic. All right. I lift more than you. Dead ass, that is not true. Do you see? Dead ass, that's not true. I do not believe it. Oh, we dead ass? Flash, I don't even know what you look like, gang. How much you lift? Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't even know how much I lift. But are we talking about bench pressing, squatting? You might be able to squat more than me. Bench pressing? I don't believe it. Definitely don't believe it. I'm not gonna lie about the things that I can do and I can't do. Squatting, I'm horrible. Fucking hate that shit. Bench press? I love that shit, dog. It's the best shit.
And he'd put his body on the line to gain extra yards.
I benched
but
you on the
his
squat
arm
5.
was so good.
I don't know my numbers, bro. It's been a while since I've been to the damn gym with somebody to spot me so I could strength lift. Like,
often forget about his rushing ability because he could throw it as hard and as far as anyone. He ended his career with over 51,000 passing yards.
You don't remember, Captain? It's been so long, my nigga. Like, bro, that shit was high school, nigga. I've graduated college, nigga. Like, well, no, that was actually in college. I used to do it too, but shit was a long time ago, nigga. Like,
for all his talent, Elway was considered a loser for a large chunk of his career.
You don't need no spot. If you're maxing out without a spot, you are fucking on suicide watch.
JD World 44 cheered X100. Hi, I'm kinda new to watching your streams, but my boyfriend got me onto watching your videos. This is his account. He always watches your You Scare Our Son every night by yelling, but you are a good person. You make up laugh every night, so thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. You know, that is a W, man. The fan watching the content. My bad for making y'all. My bad for making the kids, man. My bad about that. Say the nigga. That's a nigga. Oh, wait a minute. Kind of new to the stream. No, nigga said my boyfriend. Oh, shit. Nigga, salute, nigga. Shit. Salute, nigga. What that mean? You can watch the content. Now, I think that might be a girl, but shit, if it ain't, salute.
Because in the late 80s, his Broncos went 0-3 in Super Bowls. In fact, it was...
She said this her boyfriend account. That's what I thought, man. See, chat be tweaking. Thank you. Excuse me, miss. These niggas, something wrong with them.
It wasn't until the 97-98 season, when he was 37 years old, that he won his first title. Then went back-to-back the following year to finish his career. And he changed that narrative forever. The Cincinnati Bengals have yet to have a quarterback get them that elusive first championship, but Ken Anderson gave it a good run. For more than a decade, he was the Bengals' starting quarterback, earning 4 Pro Bowl nods. And in 1981, he was named league MVP. The Bengals went to the Super Bowl that season, but ultimately lost to Joe Montana and the 49ers. In 1982, he set an NFL record for completion percentage in a season. And when he eventually passed the baton to Boomer Esiason in 1986, Anderson has set the bar for passing yards and touchdowns in Cincinnati. The Bengals have actually had a lot of great QB play over the years, but the same can't be said of their fellow Ohio ball club, the Cleveland Browns, who seem to be stuck in...
The Browns-Cleveland story is a funny story. Bro, I think the fucking Bengals owner was a part of the Browns. And he wanted a team, so he made the fucking
D1080 just resubscribed for 7 months.
D, what's the word, gang?
New here.
Hey, you been here 7 months, nigga. You found at this point.
Quarterback hell. In fact, the Browns...
Why does Ohio have 2 teams? Because if you turn on the stadium, turn on the game, both of the motherfuckers sold out. Is Browns their best? Nah. What's that nigga name, bro? That nigga Anderson, he cooked one for 1 year. Baker did ball, though. Oh, no. It's Otto Graham. Otto Graham.
His greatest quarterback ever was their very first one, Otto Graham. During his 10-year career,
Graham joined the Bears. Yeah, when you hear people talk about him, this motherfucker sounded unreal.
Led his league in passing yards 5 times and led in yards per attempt at 4. But most importantly, his teams finished first every season. He made it to 10 championship games when only the division or conference champion got to play in the postseason. And he won 7 of those title games, with 3 coming after the Browns joined the NFL from the AAFC. It'll be almost impossible for anyone to match that record. Matthew Stafford, on the other hand,
Otto Graham is the NFL's Wilt Chamberlain. Like, did y'all hear what the fuck they said about this motherfucker? The Lions, Matt Stafford is their best quarterback. Matt Stafford, sorry, I'm over here fucking up.
Hand has never won a division title in his 12 years with the Lions, and Detroit made the playoffs just 3 times in that span. But Stafford was the definition of a good player on a bad team.
Hey, let's get this. Let's get this one now. Let's go.
In 2021, when he was traded to the Rams for Jared Goff, he held the franchise records for completions, yards, and touchdowns.
He can make every throw and then some.
He was make that make sense.
Records for complete.
How the fuck did he got it for touchdowns when a nigga at 2 got 204 and he has 197? Am I slow? Passing? Oh, okay, all right. Wait a minute. Let me look this nigga up. I think it's a touchdown. What this nigga touchdown? This nigga's a quarterback. I don't know, whatever.
Completions, yards, and touchdowns.
He can make every throw and then some.
He was the most talented passer ever to wear Honolulu blue.
He's fearless. You know, he's willing to fire the ball into tight windows.
Oh, what was it? I don't know, whatever.
And make some stuff happen.
He just wasn't the most successful one. And speaking of unsuccessful quarterbacks, we've now arrived at the New York Jets.
Trash. Let me tell you what, man. A lot of stinky quarterbacks get praised still. Yo, Terry Bradshaw, we're not listening to you. I'm sorry, man. And buddy right here, he had a nice coat. That's all I got to say about you, Joe Namath.
Whose all-time greatest signal caller is still Broadway Joe Namath. Namath has been a franchise icon ever since signing a record-setting $407,000 contract as a rookie in 1965. He's best known for guaranteeing a Super Bowl win.
I think we got a heck of a shot of winning. We'll beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
And then leading the biggest upset in pro football history.
Got to have confidence in your team. Got to have confidence in yourself.
Being the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards in a season, playing through brutal injuries, especially to his knees, and enjoying that New York nightlife to the fullest. Those things make it easy to forget that he threw so many brutal interceptions, and that the Jets had just 3 winning seasons in his 12 years with them.
Like I said, I don't have no reason to lie about somebody. What I get out of hating Joe Namath? Get him the fuck out of here.
But he's still loved more than any other quarterback the franchise has produced.
Remember, number 12, in spirit and in heart, I'll always be with the Jets.
And they retired a nigga with 3 winning seasons, man. Matt Sharp is the Texans' greatest quarterback of all time. He didn't lead us to our first playoff win. He was hurt that year, but led us to the playoffs. The franchise leader in passing yards and touchdowns. Behind him would be Watson. Right behind him is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud not too far from overtaking Watson. He just needs some playoff wins, though. But no quarterback is over, what's the name? Deshaun, I'm going to be honest, bro. I don't think so. As far as, like, numbers and shit like that, I fuck with Deshaun. Deshaun was tough, man. Speaking of Deshaun, man, yo, I don't know if anybody looking at this. Yo, the lawyer that sued Jay-Z, that nigga, every case that nigga has accepted and went on to sue needs to be relooked. Bro, they revealed that lady that was accusing Jay-Z. And bro, that lady is clearly not in her right fucking mind, yo. Like, and that nigga was taking advantage of that lady trying to sue Jay-Z, putting it out in the media, and everybody was like, yo, he's one of the most accomplished lawyers ever. That same lawyer is the lawyer that led the Deshaun Watson trial. Now, I'm not here to say that all those people's are victims. I'm not here to say that all them people ain't victims. All I'm going to say is, my nigga, if you think that that's his first time doing it, y'all out of y'all motherfucking mind. That lawyer is a piece of shit. And yeah.
It's hard to love.
I think that niggas need to look at what the fuck he's done. Real shit. But let's keep it going.
12, in spirit and in heart, I'll always be with the Jets.
And it's hard to love any quarterback the Texans have produced. So Matt Schaub gets the nod here over Deshaun Watson because A, Watson only played 4 seasons in Houston, and B, Schaub made the Texans offense good for the first time in their history after 5 years of struggles with David Carr. In 2009, Schaub led the NFL in pass attempts, completions, and yards. In 2011, he led...
This nigga deadass was an MVP candidate at one point in time. Like, Matt Schaub, I was 2009. Matt Schaub was cooking. Now, did he win it? No. But this motherfucker was cooking. But his problem is, motherfucker want to keep getting hurt. Like, I know you don't want to, but damn.
Schaub led the NFL in pass attempts, completions, and yards. In 2011, he led the Texans to their first ever playoff appearance and their first ever playoff win.
No, he didn't. Boom, he led us to the playoffs. Guess what? Matt Schaub's injured. That was the first year that the Texans hit was like legitimate, bro. Like they had a team, they had an offense and a defense that could have went on a deep playoff run. I'm not gonna claim where it went because niggas gonna start arguing hypotheticals. But they had a team that could have went on a deep playoff run. And playoff start, he gone now. We got TJ Yates.
2011, he led the Texans to their first ever playoff appearance and their first ever playoff win.
Take it up with the O-line. Our O-line was good at that point in time, bro. We had Dwayne Brown, and if niggas that know football know Brown was a cold-ass fucking left tackle. Then we had Eric, Eric, damn it. I think Eric Watson on the right tackle. We had Chester Pitts at guard, and I forgot our center name is Chris something. Our O-line wasn't bad. The O-line wasn't bad, bro.
2012, Houston went back to the playoffs and won another game.
That's why the O-line is one of the reasons why Aaron Foster was cooking like that. That zone running scheme, like.
First ever playoff win. In 2012, Houston went back to the playoffs and won another game. In 2013, his run in Houston ended badly with a 2-14 season.
He started throwing a bunch of
he's
picks.
Still the franchise leader in passing yards and touchdowns, though it wouldn't.
Let me see them numbers.
But he's
these are numbers that could easily be overtaken. Well, I don't want to say easily. Let me stop. That's fucking nuts. 23,000 yards is crazy. But in 4 years, Watson would have look what Watson did in 4 years. If Watson stayed in Texas, he would have overpassed his numbers. These are numbers that Stroud could overtake. Stroud has a easy path to becoming the greatest Texan quarterback of all time. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Stroud wins 2 playoff games, he might be that fucking dude. That's how the Texans are a new franchise. We don't have a lot of fucking success at the quarterback position. Now, if you don't say like if we draft somebody, Will Anderson got a long way to go to be the greatest Texans defensive player because we got J.J. Watt. Nico got a long way to go to be the greatest receiver because we got Andre Johnson. But quarterback can be overtaken.
Franchise leader in passing yards and touchdowns, though it wouldn't be surprising to see C.J. Stroud take this spot in the near future. And while Texans have yet to have an all-time great quarterback, the same can't be said for the Indianapolis Colts, who have employed both Johnny Unitas and Peyton Manning. But we all know who the greatest Colt ever was, because Manning's production was just absurd. In 13 years with the
Texans got lucky to bounce back that fast after Deshaun. I mean, yeah, you're right, but at the same time, it really wasn't that fast if you was really there or like that was horrible, man. That shit was horrible. Real shit. It was so bad. They fucked my team up so bad, nigga. I stepped away. I couldn't take
Big
it.
Money _119 cheered X100. Here's my goat Peyton Manning, nigga.
Come on, man.
Legendary shit. Was one of the smartest QBs in the league minus that interception to them weak ass Saints in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Crying face. He should have 3 rings, bruh. Trey, so sad.
Man, I had to watch this motherfucker twice a year smoke the Texans. But I'm gonna be honest, I used to be a Colts fan. Like, I used to really root for the Colts. But I'm not that no more.
Jarmeal just resubscribed for 32 months.
What the fuck? Bro, you know when you a kid, you just root for you root for all kind of shit. But I dead ass was a Colts fan though. Like I used to really root for them niggas. But like the more and more I start to like grow up, be in the city of Houston and know like, nah, I think I'm impacted by the Texans, nigga. Like, fuck the Colts. I started to love the Texans more, then I started to realize, okay, why the fuck are the Texans not going nowhere? It's the fucking Colts. The Peyton Manning. When it's that time, BTA, nigga. BT fucking A. And it went from me liking these niggas to being me. And fuck these niggas, yo. I started to hate them niggas, man. Yo, hey, John, thank you for the 32 months, bro. Peyton Manning's that dude, man.
The club, the Sheriff threw 399 touchdown passes, averaging just under 2 per game. In 2004, he set an NFL record at the time for TD throws in a season. Then in the 2006 season, he won Indy their first Super Bowl since 1971.
The Colts are world champions! World champions for the first time!
How was the Texans bounce back lucky? So this is what I do. I pull it up. Texans. We can watch Peyton Manning, so I'm going to show some respect. Texans record year by year. All right. We'll pull this bad boy up. Do we got an image? Damn, I wish I could get an image. No. All right, boom. Go to stat news. ST2. Wow. Texas record for the last 10 years. Okay? So, boom. Then we'll go Deshaun Watson stats. Wow. Deshaun Watson last season in the NFL. Wait, the NFL quietly drops the latest investigation into. Oh, they dropped Deshaun shit. But whatever though. Damn it. Stats. Boom. So Deshaun Watson last year on the Texans was 2020. And he didn't even play that year. Yes, he did. That nigga cooked that year, y'all. This nigga Deshaun threw 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, almost 5,000 yards. All right, but so you said, how was the Texans bounce back from Deshaun Lucky? It's last year on the Texans. What we said was 2020, right? 2020, we was 4-12, right? So the Texans go from having a franchise quarterback to not having one for 1 year, 2 years. Third year, here comes Stroud. Teams don't do that. So while I say, oh man, it wasn't really that, like, I'm like, it wasn't that fast because this was horrible. This was fucking horrible. 4-13, man, it was bad, dog. Then the 3-13, they really low key they went so long in the season not winning the damn game, and they got their third win at the last win of the season. At the last game of the season, I think they tied. Oh yeah, the last game of the season. The Texans' record at one point in the year was 0-1. Horrible, bro. Just absolutely bad, nigga. But to go from a franchise quarterback to another franchise quarterback so quickly, it's not a common thing. Look how many teams have been looking for a franchise quarterback for so long. Before Miami, y'all got Tua now. Before Tua, was a gap. I mean, they searching for a quarterback. The Jets, searching for a quarterback. The Bears have not had a fucking quarterback on Deshaun Watson's caliber in 30 years. The Texans have had 2. That's lucky. No cap. So, while I say it was hard living through that, but you got to be honest with it. You got to be honest, bro. All right, let's get to it. Now, Peyton Manning. This area had you crying. Man, real shit. I stepped away, bro. They murdered my team, bro.
Capsol3 cheered X100. It's not luck when you draft the right players and get a new coach.
Time.
Yes, it is. There's a bit of luck into it. There have been can't miss people that missed. They have hired coaches that thought was the right coach. They got fucking fired. Like, you're using a lot of hindsight. The Jets start when they drafted Saleh and drafted, what's gang name, their quarterback, that they had the two pieces that worked. Didn't work. For the Texans to hit on the coach and quarterback, Zach. For the Texans hit on coach and quarterback in the same time, slug, bro. Like, it's a lot of great work that they put into it, but you don't know how it's going to pan out.
He led 45 game-winning drives with the Colts, and when it was all said and done, he had won 4 MVPs with the franchise. But early in Manning's career, one of his biggest rivals was the Jaguars' Mark Brunell. The lefty was part of the team's core from the very beginning. In 1995, he came over from Green Bay for the Jags' inaugural season, and he became the starter in Week 3.
I don't know nothing about Mark Brunell.
Brunell had delivered a franchise record 144 touchdown passes. And from 1996 to 1999, he led Jacksonville to 4 straight playoff berths and a pair of AFC title games. He set the standard.
The Jaguars are, their first couple of years is the standard for an NFL expansion team. The standard. For them to go to the playoffs that soon, fucking nuts. Now, I think but the real standard for an expansion team is probably the Panthers. But that was crazy.
Standard for Trevor Lawrence and every other Jags QB that followed him. The only thing he lacked was a cool nickname, like the Snake, which belonged to Raiders legend Ken Stabler. He earned the moniker in high school for his running ability. He would wind his way through defenses like a snake.
He could just step it up a notch when you need it.
And he was an amazing scrambler early in his pro career.
Kenny Stabler was the definition of clutch.
But Oakland really needed him to throw the ball down the field, and he was one of the best to ever do that.
Oh, Rich Gannon, I forgot about Rich.
Before Derek Carr came along, Stabler was the Raiders' all-time leader in passing yards and touchdown
Man, look at them numbers, though. I don't know in what years, but
passes. And unlike Carr, he won a lot. In 1974, he won the league MVP award. Then in the 1976 season, Stabler brought the franchise's first Super Bowl title.
They call him Mr. Clutch.
He finished with a 69-26-1 record as the Raiders' starting QB. At the same time Stabler's silver and black were lighting up scoreboards in Oakland, Jim Hart's big...
Think about it, too. We talking about when the Texans are lucky. Now, obviously, they're going to need to win something. But since Ken Stabler, what player has that the Raiders have had, quarterback, that was as good as Watson was those 3 years? They haven't. I remember Carson Palmer had a decent season there. I think Derek Carr put up some solid numbers. Like, but they ain't got it. Like, Gannon, he stopped Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon, I keep forgetting about. Rich Gannon was tough. But since Rich Gannon did, that's a long time. It's a long time. Campbell, I fuck with Campbell when he was on the Skins. When he went to the Raiders, he did his thing, but Campbell was a stop quarterback. Like, he was a placeholder. He wasn't on that Watson level.
Red was putting up big-time yards and points in St. Louis. In the 70s, Hart piloted what became known as Air Coryell, the innovative passing attack devised by then Cardinals coach Don Coryell. Throwing to stars like Mel Gray, Terry Metcalf, and Jackie Smith, Hart made the Cards an offensive juggernaut.
His philosophy was
I rooted for him.
Defense
Absolutely
to have
not.
to defend the entire field.
Every year from 1973 through 1977, they ranked in the top 12 in both total offense and scoring offense.
And Don would always be yelling, throw it, throw it.
Air Coryell.
3rd down inches or 4th down in inches. And
Hart went on to play 18 years for the Cards, which allowed him to claim all the franchise's all-time passing records. But Coryell's
18 years and don't win no Super Bowl is crazy. You and this bitch just vibing.
Offense wasn't known as Air Coryell until Coryell left the Cardinals and began coaching the Chargers. The scheme turned Dan Fouts into a...
This is Phillip Rivers, man. I feel like it's Phillip. I don't know about Dan Fouts informed me, but Phillip was crazy.
Hall of Famer and franchise legend. But a couple of decades later, Phillip Rivers came along and bumped Fouts off the pedestal. Rivers' run began in 2006 when he threw for 22 touchdowns. When it ended in 2019, Rivers had shattered Fouts' marks, ending up with
I think that Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, let's not even think, this is a fact. This is one of the greatest NFL trades of all time, especially draft day trades. Like, swapping franchise quarterbacks, bro. Crazy.
397 touchdown passes and 59,271 yards. But the craziest part about Rivers' run in San Diego was that after taking over as the starter, he never missed a game, starting 224 straight for the club. Moving from a quarterback who never missed a start to one who actually helped start a franchise, Fran Tarkenton was the first quarterback in Minnesota Vikings history. In 1961, he started for them as a rookie. And all these years later, he's still the best quarterback in Vikes history. Tarkenton was one of...
We don't talk about y'all enough.
We
don't talk about y'all enough. But the Vikings have had some quarterbacks, I'm like, man, it's all right, man. They had for a season, they had Randall Cunningham. I remember that. Well, I don't remember that, but I've heard Randall Cunningham was solid. Then they had Culpepper. Case Keenum. Keenum had some moments. I don't know. I feel like, Chad, am I bugging if I say I would put the Vikings quarterbacks over the Bears? Now, the Vikings have had some stinkers. They drafted Christian Ponder. Trying to see another bust they drafted. They drafted, what's the nigga that was the Tavares Jackson? But he was the second round quarterback. But yeah. Now they got JJ. Let's see what JJ do.
All these years later, he's still the best quarterback in Vikes history. Tarkenton was one of the NFL's first great dual-threat QBs. And though he's often remembered for his wild scrambling, he could sling it too. Tarkenton retired as the franchise's leading passer. 4.5 decades later, he still holds that distinction. And the Vikings were winners under him. In the 1970s, he led the team to 2 Super Bowls. Unfortunately, they lost both games.
I guess it was just the
ultimate disappointment.
I cannot tell you the feeling of emptiness it gives you, of hopelessness it gives you.
But to this day, no one else has gotten him back there. Like Tarkenton, New Orleans Saints legend Drew Brees was on the short.
Listen, man, this motherfucker got an untouchable status with the Saints. The only way someone could overtake Drew Brees, I deadass think they got to win 3 Super Bowls. And I know Drew Brees only has 1. But you got to win 3 Super Bowls. Man, and I don't know if number's going to ever touch his. This motherfucker was throwing the fuck out of that ball, man. Crazy.
Shorter side, listed at 6 feet. But instead of running around so he could see downfield, Brees stood in the pocket and picked defenses apart. He's one of the most accurate passers ever, completing 68.8% of his passes with the Saints. In 2006, New Orleans gambled that Brees could come back from a devastating shoulder injury that ended his time with the Chargers.
I'm going to say New Orleans helped save me at that point in my career. And
the move paid off big. With Brees running the offense, the Saints became a powerhouse.
Something special, and it was destiny.
In 2009, he brought a Super Bowl title to the Big Easy for the first time. He's football royal.
Chad, where y'all ranking him? Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Who y'all got all the time? Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers? I feel like it's a good debate. Aaron all day. Okay, a lot of Aaron. Got Brees in there. Brees is Christ. Brees. As a quarterback, yeah. What else, nigga? I'm gonna be quick because I don't want to hold the video up. Who would I pick? I say if I had to pick it, I probably would go Aaron. But I'm kind of, a part of me want to say Drew Brees, man. That nigga Drew Brees was throwing that motherfucking ball. Now, Aaron Rodgers is one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen. The way this throwing angles, this motherfucker was legit one of the first quarterbacks I seen really throw that bitch sidearm, all that shit, like crazy. But Drew Brees is just a pure passer of the ball, bro.
Royalty in New Orleans and leads the Saints in all passing categories by a landslide. Sticking with the trend of shorter quarterbacks, Russell Wilson shocked the football world when he won the Seahawks job as a rookie. and then instantly became one of the NFL's best
Man,
quarterbacks.
that guy, man.
He wowed Seattle's fans with long ball accuracy and scrambling ability. With 3 running the show, the Hawks were perennial winners.
At the beginning of the year, I asked your boys, why not us? We're here for a reason. We're here for a reason.
Oh, man. That speech is fucking ass. He sounds terrible. Where's Jameis?
And let's go prove tonight.
In just his second season, he destroyed the Broncos to win Super Bowl 48. In 2014, Seattle went back to the big game, where they didn't give the ball to Marshawn and
let's keep going.
Rushed through a game-losing pick on the goal line. Wilson was stuck chasing redemption after that, and despite not getting another title, Seattle made the playoffs in 8 of his 10 seasons. And Russ set every franchise passing record along the way. But now we're back to the man who Russ lost that second Super Bowl to, the man who ruined many QB's Super Bowl.
Wait a minute. I know Tom Brady ain't the greatest Broncos quarterback of all time. I think he might be. You got Johnson, who won a Super Bowl for them. Leftwich. This nigga is dead as their goal.
Super Bowl dreams, Tom Brady. Because in his short time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he quickly became their greatest quarterback ever. In just 3 seasons with the Bucs, he's second on the franchise's career TD pass list. Just 3 seasons with the Bucs, he's second on the franchise's career TD pass list and 3rd on its passing yards list.
That's ridiculous. Show some respect to Big Jameis, though, nigga. I wish Jameis could have kept them interception numbers down, man. Obviously, Jameis can play quarterback in the NFL. Bro, to throw 30 touchdowns in a season is nuts. But to throw 30 picks is insane. Like, fuck.
List. Oh, and he won his 7th Super Bowl ring and 5th Super Bowl MVP. Simply put, he had one of the greatest late career runs in sports history, and he doubled Tampa Bay's total ring count. And while Brady won Super Bowls from his early 20s to his mid-40s, Titans or Oilers legend Warren Moon didn't even get him.
Shout out to Big Warren, man. The greatest Houston Oilers quarterback of all time. Tennessee, we don't talk enough about your bum ass. You niggas can't get a good quarterback to save your life. And I think y'all have had talented ones that you just fucking up. I'm not confident that y'all not ruining Will Levis. I see he has ability. I'm going to be honest. Oh, Steve McNair. Fuck. God, Steve McNair. Whatever. But that man in hell, bro, have you seen the O-line that Will Levis is playing behind? I mean, that is a war crime. That is a war crime. Levis is ass. Bro, we've seen so many quarterbacks that look trash behind a trash O-line, man. I dead ass think that Levis has ability, bro.
His first shot in the NFL until he was 28. Moon actually started in the Canadian Football League, where he set the league on fire, winning 5 consecutive Grey Cups from 1978 to 1982. Then, in 1984, Moon was finally given his chance in the NFL.
When you feel strong, you think strong, and you can stand in the pocket stronger.
While it started a bit slow for him in Houston, he ended up making the Pro Bowl in his final 6 seasons with the team. He spent 10 seasons in total with the Oilers, shattering the franchise's passing yards and passing touchdown records, which he still holds to this day. And the final quarterback on this list took his own detour in Canada before becoming an NFL starter. That would be Washington great Joe Theismann. He didn't get the starting job in D.C. until he was 29, and then he struggled. But finally, in 1979, it all came together for him. And in 1981, his career took off when Joe Gibbs became the head coach. In 1983, Theismann was named MVP and led the Skins to their first Super Bowl title. But sadly, 2 years after that achievement, his career ended in one gruesome moment. As the Giants lost...
The way that his story, Alex Smith's story, parallels in Washington is crazy.
Lawrence Taylor was sacking Theismann, his leg snapped. But still, in just 8 seasons as the full-time starter, Theismann became the franchise's leader in passing yards and completions. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, stick with Blitz.
Great fucking video, man. Great fucking video.